up, my girlies? Welcome back to another video. It is your girl T. If you are new here, just clicking onto this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are a girly, you already know the vibes. Welcome back, my girlies. Welcome back to another episode of Life of a Small Creator. This is episode 3. And y'all, just like we've been doing in the last few episodes, we're just going to kind of recap on episode 2 real quick before we get right into this episode. So y'all already know that I have my little notes with me because I just need my notes, right? Because I can't remember everything, okay? I can't do it all. I can't film, edit, I can't do everything, okay? So I got my notes, and so just a little backtrack on episode 2. Episode 2, we talked about Life of a Small Creator, finally seeing results. So I basically kind of went over some tips and tricks and what I did to actually see some results. I also shared some of my results with you guys. I shared some of my insights. I shared some of my likes and my comments. So I was able to actually show you guys what that looks like. So I hope you enjoyed last week's video. If you have not had a moment to check it out, make sure you exit out of this video, go back, watch episodes 1 and 2 so that you're all caught up, and come back and then continue off with episode 3. So with that being said, let's just get right into it. So this episode, I'm going to be talking about how I plan out my content and how important it is to batch content. So I have seen a significant difference when I decided to plan, prep, and batch my content. Okay, so before I started batching, I was kind of winging it, right? Like I would just pick up my camera and I would record what I record. I would do whatever I do, and I was just making it shake, and it was working. You know, I was getting likes and I was getting views, but it was really no consistency. And I found that I reached that burnout phase a lot quicker, and I also was experiencing writer's block like so often. I was like, what do I do next? I had no idea. I was filming a video and putting it up the same day, or filming it the day before and putting it up. No direction, no nothing, winging it, okay? And although I've seen some results, it wasn't the results that I'm looking for, and it's not the results that I want moving forward. So I decided that I wanted to take this more seriously, and as I mentioned in the last episode, starting the beginning of May is when I started really putting myself out there and being more consistent and more intentional with my content and my planning and my strategy. So with that being said, I'm just going to share some tips with you guys. And of course, when I share these tips, ladies, like this is my experience and this is what I'm doing. I know there are a ton of other ways, and I encourage you to use the way that is best for you. But as you can see, you're on my channel and I'm sharing my journey, and I hope that I can be an inspiration to some of you guys, and I hope that what I'm doing can resonate with some of you guys, and I hope that it works for you too, you know. And I hope that even if you could take one piece from this video, my job is done. Okay, so let's just get right into it. So when it comes to planning, right, I like to vlog, and you guys love my vlogs, and I found that it was super hard for me to batch vlogs, because like batching is kind of like recording everything, you know, in a day's time or within a few days. So when you're vlogging, you kind of have to have the camera every day, like you're vlogging every day, because like I'm allowing you guys to spend a week with me, you know what I mean? So it was kind of hard for me to batch content. So once I narrowed it down and I figured out what it is that I wanted to do, it made it a lot easier. So that's why this series, Life of a Small Creator, you're actually seeing more videos back to back. It's more structured, because making this a series allowed me to be able to batch. So for example, if you're a fashion creator, you can batch content so easily because no one knows that you didn't film all that content in the same day. All you're going to do is change clothes and go. You get what I'm saying? So like things like that is super easy. And I do understand if you are a vlogger that it could be a little bit harder. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of tips when it comes to vlogging. So if any of you guys have any tips or resources or anything that you want to share, please feel free to leave that in the comment section. So let's just fast forward and get into this series, right? I found this series to be a lot easier to batch and plan, right? Because when the series first came to mind, I was able to start off with 5 episodes. I said, okay, T, I'm going to start off with 5 episodes. I'm going to see how this goes. If it goes well and they like it, I'll do 5 more episodes. So from the moment this idea came in my mind, I was locked in, y'all. Like I literally took out my phone and I started planning. And I know that there's a lot of apps that you can use that the girlies use. And like I know there's a few. I can't really remember the name, but I do know that there's one app that you can use that is called, let me see. It is called Buffer. And Buffer, you can schedule, like you can write your title, you can do all of that and schedule when you want it to post on YouTube or Instagram, and it connects to your platform, and it will, once you set it, it will do that for you. So there's a ton of apps, right? But for me personally, I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm real old school and I'm real old fashioned, and I like to write my stuff down. I have been utilizing my resources that I already have, right? So my notes, I take advantage of the notes in my iPhone, the reminders in my iPhone, and my calendar to help me block off times and dates of when I want to film and what I need to do. So I'll show a little, I'll give you guys an example of what that kind of looks like. I'll share my notes section with you just based off of this series. And although you probably can't see it a lot right here, I'll have it overlaid for you anyway. But so first and foremost, I started off with 5 episodes. I literally found the title for all 5 episodes the same day, right? I got the title and I got what I wanted to talk about in each episode. So the title allowed me to figure out what it is that I want to talk about, because the title kind of tells you what to expect in the video. So I wrote down, for example, we're going to just do episode 1, right? Because I'm hoping that most of you already saw it. So we're going to go life of a small creator, tips of how to monitor your insights, how to grow and build a community. That was episode 1. So within that, I started off with my notes. So I said, okay, in the title section, we're going to talk about growth tips, we're going to talk about insights, and we're going to talk about community. So I broke it down into 3 categories, and I put, obviously I started off with growth, and I broke it down into 3 bullet points of things that I wanted to talk about that was going to reflect growth. I wrote 3 things that I was going to talk about to help you with your insights, and 3 things that I wanted to talk about to help you to build a community. And all of these are things that I am actually doing, right? Okay, so when I write down my content, I don't know what works for you, but I write down scenes, right? I'm getting more into cinematic style videos. So I feel like scenes is important. Think of it as a play or think of it as a movie, right? You want to transition into the next scene with it being seamless. Like that's what makes it, beyond the edits and beyond the lighting and all of that, what makes it a scene and makes it cohesive is the transitions, right? So I told myself, I said, okay, boom, we're going to write down scene 1. I'm going to write down scene 2, scene 3, scene 4, and so forth, right? Whatever, however long you want your video to be. However many scenes you feel like you need to make your one video. So with that being said, I always start off with my opening B-roll. I told myself, hey, I want to take the cinematic thing to a next level. I want to show you guys that I'm capable, and I want to be able to put it, I want to show my creativity in another way, right? So I told myself, boom, we're going to open all of these vlogs cinematically, right? So with that being said, when you are doing cinematic content, and I'm not going to go too much into that because I'm going to have an episode coming up where I'm going to tell you all about how to film and cinematic and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to go into detail with that. But it's important to have your shots. So I wrote down like, for example, extreme close shot, medium wide shot, overhead shot, different types of things, different type of angles that will help me to create the content that I want you guys to see, right? So for example, I wrote down extreme close shot. So in my first vlog, episode 1, my extreme close shot was me stirring the coffee. My overhead shot was the camera over my head as I was looking at my insights, right? So when it was time to film, I already knew what I needed to do because I already wrote down the scenes. Like from the props, what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna do it, I wrote it down already. So when it came time for me to record, I was able to use the time frame that I set and maximize from that. Also, I do want to share with you guys, since I started batching and planning out my content, it has helped me a lot to make everything cohesive and bring it all together. Before I started doing this, I realized like my content was all over the place. I was vlogging, I was doing fashion, I was doing this, I was doing all of that, right? Like nothing pretty much a flow, like it didn't bring you back. So now with this, with batching and planning, it's allowing me to put out content for you guys, and it's allowing me to bring you guys back into the main focus here. And it's just a reflection of my life as a small creator. And now I'm able to actually have the time and the resources to sit down and give you guys the tips and tricks that I'm using. And I can actually show you that now. So now you know, oh, you know what? I have a question about such and such. Boom, I'm gonna go to T page because she been dropping the gems. She been dropping the jewels on what to do or whatever. So I've been tying you guys back into one thing. So I have learned that batching and planning has helped me to retain a certain type of audience. I will say that. Okay. So with that being said, we're gonna get into how I plan. We're gonna get into how I batch. So I just expressed to you guys how I plan. So how I plan, I use my notes section, I use my reminders, I use my calendar to help me block off times. You can use whatever app that you want. Me, the coins ain't coming in the way I want them to come in right now when it comes to content. So I'm going to utilize my resources, right, that are free. There are a ton of free resources that you can use as well. So make sure you look into those. And then now we're going to get into batching. So now that I have everything written down, all 5 episodes written down, I scheduled the time frame. Okay, I know for me with my job, I'm more so working on the weekends. So the weekdays are the best time for me to optimize and get this content filmed, edited, and all of that. So I have it in my schedule where I'm like, okay, so if I'm writing down all my ideas on Monday and I'm writing down all my B-roll, all my episodes, what I'm going to talk about on Monday, I'm going to leave that as is. I'm going to take a break. Tuesday, now on Tuesdays, I'm like, okay, Tuesdays, I'm going to create all of my thumbnails. Tuesdays, I'm going to go out and get my thumbnails. Obviously, you want to change the scenery. You want to change your outfit or whatever. So you block out a time frame. Hey, I'm going to take 4 hours out of my day on Tuesday to go ahead and get my thumbnails, right? Okay, boom, Wednesday. Wednesday's the day that I'm going to record. I'm going to see how many episodes I can record in that day, right? So for me, since I did 5 episodes, I had first started out on my first Wednesday. I started out with the first 2 episodes, right? And I said, okay, I'm going to film 2 episodes, which means I'm going to go outside. I'm going to dedicate 4 hours to get all my B-roll content, whatever's indoors, whatever's outdoors. And then I'm going to do the sit down part at the end. And I'm going to do both videos the same day. You guys ain't know I did it the same day, but I did do it the same day because I already had it planned that I was only dedicating 4 hours to 2 episodes on Wednesdays. So what I realized is, like, if you run out of time, it's okay. You could carry it over into the next day as long as you're staying on top of it and then you're staying in control. Because when you're trying something new, you kind of have to keep figuring it out and keep fine-tuning it until you find what works for you. 4 hours was enough for me to do 2. I don't think that it would have been enough for me to do all 5 series. So I learned that. So, okay, cool. So Thursday, I'm editing. Now. I'm editing both videos on Thursday. Friday, I'm going to go over it. I'm going to view it. If I need to edit it some more, or if I need to film my short form content, that's going to happen on Friday. So Friday, I'm dedicating 2 hours in the morning to go over my rough drafts, see if I need to add anything, see if I forgot anything, see how I like it. Then the afternoon half of my day, I'm going to film my short form. And in my short form, I'm going to film about 3-4 reels or whatever, or I'm going to take 4 photos for the week. That way, next week, when it's time to get these videos out, while these videos are playing and my short form is playing, I'm already working on scenes 3, 4, and 5. You get what I'm saying? So you want to make a flow. And if you a sticky note type of girl, get your sticky notes out, get your notebook, get your paper. If you like I know for me, I'm like a poster board girl, so I like to get a big piece of paper, put it on the wall where I could wake up and see it and just write on it, right? But for me right now, I have been really just utilizing my iPhone, and I can't wait to show you guys. I'll probably show it right here in this section. I'll show you guys literally my notes section and what I write down. Scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, scene 4, scene 5, okay? So I just wanted to come on here and share that with you, ladies. I don't want to take up all your time, but if you also have any like tips or questions or apps or anything that you recommend, make sure you put that in the comment section. Also, guys, I started a broadcast on Instagram. So we're taking the small creator content level to the next step. I'm incorporating it into my Instagram platform, and I made a broadcast channel. And so far, I have just went on and posted the first 2 episodes. So I posted the thumbnails to the first 2 episodes. I left the opportunity for people to ask questions. You can't quite comment just yet because I'm not adding anyone as a collaborator right now, but I will have polls and things that you can interact with, and that's how we're going to be able to communicate with each other. Also, it's a section where I can go live and we can talk about it. So I am thinking about going live after I post a video so that we can all just talk about it in real time. So if you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. That's going to be brandmet_, the same as this platform. That way we can have a more smaller community and we can really talk and share our ideas and our goals. Okay. Let's just get back to batching this content real quick, because I'm pretty sure that it's something that I'm leaving out because it just seems way too short for me, and I'm like, what's going on here? What's going on? Okay, yeah. So I basically kind of touched everything that I wrote down: how to schedule, how I plan, and how I batch my content. So I kind of pretty much did that. Before, I used to post every Sunday. I do still feel like Sunday is the best day. A lot of the bigger YouTubers post on Sunday. It just seems like people like to dedicate Sundays to YouTube. However, I have been just still experimenting with set days. I had told myself that I was going to post 1 vlog every week. So if you can build a schedule for your audience, that's going to be great, like, so that they know when to expect you. But now that I have been batching content, I really don't have to stretch it 1 video a week anymore. I have been like, if it's done, I've been putting it out. So like last week I put out 2 videos. Episode 1 and 2 went out in the same week. And I was like, oh, okay. So now I'm seeing like, wow, like, now I can get these videos out more often, more frequent. And that's going to keep me to stay relevant. And it's going to make it a lot easier for you guys to catch up and keep up with me, because now you don't have to wait a week or 2 for the next video. You know how it feels when you're waiting on your favorite show and you got to wait till the next week. So like for me, I like to just let those episodes build up. That way I could just sit down in one setting and watch 3 or 4 or 5. So I've learned that with batching content, I'm able to actually do that for you guys. So like after you receive this one, you're already gonna have episode 4 just probably within the same week. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I'm pretty much really caught up in everything. So you'll have this episode, and a few days later you'll have episode 4, and then I only have 1 more episode. So I have to decide between this week if I'm gonna continue and make this series and give it dedicated 5 more episodes, y'all. Like, I really got to see if I'm gonna do that. But so far, y'all have been running it up. So just let me know. Let me know what you think. Like and comment. Definitely subscribe. But like, those likes and those comments are gonna help me to say, okay, well, they like this, so I'm gonna keep it going. So if you happen to watch the video and you feel like you like what I'm saying, or you feel like you could use anything that I'm saying, make sure you leave a thumbs up or a comment, because that's going to give me the motivation to go ahead and put out more episodes. If not, the way my brain works, I'm like, okay, they didn't like that. I'm going to try to sit down and think about something else and then start something else. So I don't want to leave this earlier than I'm supposed to. So y'all, please help me out, okay? Okay. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the B-roll in the beginning of this video. Again, please make sure you leave some comments down in the comment section, and we're just gonna talk about the next episode real quick. I'm gonna give y'all a little insight on what's to come and what you could expect on episode 4. So episode 4 of Life of a Small Creator, I'm going to be showing you guys my whole entire setup. I'm going to be showing you the camera that I film on, the cameras, what camera I use for what, how I get my angles, the tripod that I'm using, my editing software, how I edit, how I export. We're going to go over SD cards. We're going to go over storage. We're going to go over all of that. So next week's episode is actually, well, I don't want to say next week, but Episode 4 is jam-packed with a lot of tech stuff. So if you're a tech girl or you're into that kind of stuff, you're going to really appreciate the next video. So make sure you're sticking around and staying tuned to that. And please, y'all, help me with this batching content because we on this journey together. And if you find something that works for you, please send it over. Hit me up in the DMs or leave me a comment, and I will see you ladies on next week's vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.
You can trust in me. I can. You said